Alright, gang, we're back again. Day 2 this time of Welcome to Shield with Mantis. As usual, we got 4 different nodes with 4 different enemies. We got Captain Marvel, Gwenpool, Doctor Strange. Keep it very simple. Doctor Strange, very common in 3-star land. Fire for power. Flames of Fall team pops you in the face and does damage. His blue Crimson Band Cinerak stuns you for a set amount of turns, and his Eye of Agamotto will get rid of any strike or protect tiles, or maybe attack tiles depending upon the level of Eye of Agamotto. 4-star Captain Marvel, her Black Photonic Barrage ability creates a countdown tile, and at level 5 it makes it fortified. And every turn it creates strike tiles on the board, and when the countdown tile reaches 0, Carol does a set amount of damage to you or whoever's in front. Her yellow Photonic Barrage and another person hit me. Jeez, people. Let me look at your roster. Oh, you actually have somebody that's championed. That's a 5-star. Cool. I'll be able to take the gloves off now. Like, he ruined it for everybody else. That's all I'm gonna say. He shouldn't have popped me. He shouldn't have had a 5-star champion on his roster. Now I've got to clown him pretty badly. But anyway, Captain Marvel's yellow ability. What is that power called? Oh my gosh. Anyway, her yellow ability turns any countdown tile to 0, and passively it improves the strength of any special tiles on the board. That's attack, protect, and strike tiles. And then lastly, her green ability, energy absorption. Now that's wild. I can remember her green ability, but I can't remember what her yellow ability is. With the green ability, gains AP if we match our strongest color. If our strongest color happens to match whomever their strongest character is, which in this case it might be Gwenpool, our entire team gets damaged. And then Gwenpool, her purple ability is Exploit. You enter a random code and it does random things, but each of the codes that's given by Gwenpool and her exploits, they're easily and readily available all over the internet. Her black ability sends people airborne, well, sends her teammates airborne, and then her green ability has 2 components. The first component is a Chekhov's gun tile. If it's matched away or destroyed, then you gain the ability to use the gun as a power. You collect 10 green AP and it fires off some random number of shots to an opponent. It could be 3 shots directly to the same opponent, or it could be 1 to 2 different targets, or split up to all 3. Here again, we still get to use Captain America 2-star. And here I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. I'm going to run with some 3-star characters, just for the spice of life. And why is this? Okay, no, I'm tripping. I'm usually having Iron Man in his costume, his stealth armor, but I forgot to change it. But we're gonna run a team of Avengers. We'll put some boost on. And probably change the team up to, I don't know, another Colossus. Why not? Now we need to check and see what executive decision, that was the name of the power. So we gotta avoid making red matches because they'll feed into Gwenpool exploits. And as much as I don't want her Chekhov's gun tile to not even to stay on the board, I kinda gotta remove it because we don't want too many yellow matches on the board. I know Dr. Doom popped me in the face with Flames of the Fall Team. However, he's going to be stunned. Thor, he might be able to punch through on Gwenpool and knock her out. Yup. Now we just wait for Iron Man to return, or he might not return. Fire off this recharge again, since it really is not something that I'm too fussed about. Overwrite his tile with Captain America, and that's your lot. Again, could I have made this here a lot faster? Absolutely. Use Thanos 5-star if you got him, and go berserk. Next day's task for day 2 is Luke Cage, Wasp, and AIM Splicer. I think we talked about AIM Splicer in the first video. If we didn't, I'll go into detail once we get into the fight. But Luke Cage, yellow, black, and red user. His yellow ability allows him to fortify any friendly special tiles that are on the board. If Iron Fist is an active ally, Luke creates a protect tile and then the fortification. His black ability allows Luke to create a protect tile, but since this is at level 5, it will completely eliminate any enemy attack, protect, or strike tile if Luke Cage is in front. And then his red power, Bunch of Fiddle Faddle, it does a set amount of damage if there are no enemy attack, protect, or strike tiles. Or I think it just might be special tiles just in general. Then Luke just does even more damage. Wasp is a yellow, blue, and black user. Her yellow ability, it flip-flops strike tiles to protect tiles and protect tiles to strike tiles. If there isn't any of those on the board, then for 5 yellow, she creates 1 attack tile, 1 protect tile on the color red. Her blue ability is a passive. If she reaches whatever the threshold is of blue, I want to say it's 6 in this case. If she reaches 6 blue, she creates a 1-turn countdown tile that, if matched away by us, it does damage to us, but if it reaches 0, it steals AP in whatever color the countdown tile is on. And then if you have enough blue AP, it repeats the process. And then her black ability is her, well, it's a nuke, but it has two different properties. If you don't have enough blue AP, it's just a straight damage move. If you have the required blue AP, it'll stun you for, I think it's at least a turn. And then, like I said, we'll look at the Splicer once we get into the fight. So this here is going to be a little bit of a tougher team, and what I want to do, since I want to just get rid of any special tiles, I'm going to roll with Michael Morbius, and I'll use the all new 4-star champion Lizard in my case. And we're going to take a look at the Splicer real quick. Okay, so Electromagnetic Prod is 7 purple, and it immediately reduces the friendly repeater tile to 0, and it deals damage. And then Unleash Experiment at the start of a turn creates a genetic construct on a blue basic tile. If it becomes a blue repeater tile, it swaps places with a random adjacent basic tile. In every turn, it converts that tile to a charged tile or different strength attack, protect, or strike tile. And if the tile cannot swap, so if it's stuck on something, then it deals damage to us. Let's say for a lot of the stronger teams, you definitely want to bring in, a handful of your stronger characters, so you can at least get around some of the, not necessarily damage mitigation, but around some of the things that either the Splicer does or anything that Luke Cage does. And then we'll stun Wasp. If you had, you could also run with that same team that I ran the last time, but again, you just want to be careful. You don't want to fire off Iron Man's yellow too many times, and then those projectiles are in places that you can't get a hold to. You can also run 3-star Loki and chase the black and deny it that way. The next node, this challenge is actually going to be a little bit tough because you got 2 characters that are fed into by the goon. So Scarlet Witch, purple, green, and blue. Her purple is Reality Crush, costs 14 purple. Stuns the target for 5. Well, stuns a random enemy for 5 turns, and then deals team damage to the team. Her green Hex Bolts. You select a basic tile on the board, and it destroys a random set of tiles that surround the chosen tile. I don't think any AP is given, but damage is calculated accordingly. And then her purple ability, Arcane Incantation, creates a 3-turn countdown tile. When it reaches 0, it creates a number of purple tiles on the board. the converting the tiles that were inside the the incantations hex, so to speak, and it generates a lot of purple. Commander will will feed them purple, and I think the yellow creates a strike tile. Again, we'll go into it fully when we pop into the fight. And then Iceman, one of my favorite 4-star characters, green power, whiteout. He does a bit of team damage to the enemy team. And if you have at least up to 15 blue tiles on the board, he does even more damage. His purple ability will convert some number of red tiles into blue tiles, which again, that feeds into the whiteout. And then his build of Snowman has 2 parts. So for 6 AP, the build of Snowman turns an enemy stunned for 4 turns, and then it switches to Punch a Snowman. So while that countdown tile is on the board, if you collect another 6 blue AP, punch him in the face, and you deal quite a bit of damage. Quite a bit of damage. Wow. So here we got Red Guardian, we got Mantis, which are required, and for the Goon, I'm gonna bring in 3-star Doctor Strange, and then we're just gonna focus solely on Wanda. Okay, tactical deployment, yes, I was correct. It creates a green strike tile on the board, and then pistol does a 3x3, so that would be this tile, this tile, this tile, going horizontally, then going vertically, and then going backwards horizontally. So that's a 3x3, and it does damage as well. Again, wherever the purple tile is at, I was just illustrating that this is a 3x3. That's all. Ooh, glad I I'm glad Mantis is a required character here. Now some are probably wondering, well, why in the world is Doctor Strange? Did we start off with projectiles? Well, that's a part of Doctor Strange's support. I really didn't get anything good on the board to match away. Let's match away Bobby's tile. Probably should have matched it away that way. Okay, that'll get rid of Bobby. Now I need to put you to sleep, so we'll do close quarters. Now we got enough to fire off Doctor Strange's blue whenever he wakes up from his eternal slumber. Or we just fire off Man of Action. There we go. Fire off these crimson bands, and let's get rid of purple because you guys don't need any purple. Sorry, Wanda. I don't know why you woke. Well, actually, I do know why you woke up. Because I was so focused on the commander to get rid of those countdown towns and didn't realize, oh, hey, Wanda was still around. And I probably should use the team up so I can collect whatever team up that they were given out here. And now probably one of the more difficult and annoying nodes in a test of skill. An overleveled Riri Williams, an overleveled Mockingbird, and an overleveled Decoy. Now, the reason why this is annoying, Decoy actually feeds his powers into Riri Williams. Riri Williams is a red, blue, and green user. Her blue ability, Magnetic Repulsors, it swaps some number of tiles in the middle of the board and it converts those tiles into red charge tiles. And if those red charge tiles are around red tiles, those will make different matches and that'll gain them a lot of red AP. Her red ability, it does damage to the two members who are behind the person that's in front. And I'll explain once we get into the fight. If there's only one enemy left, then it just does direct damage to that target. And then her green ability sends someone airborne, but if we have more special tiles on the board, when Riri is airborne, she's airborne for an additional turn, if I'm not mistaken. Mockingbird, her red ability is Bombshell, creates a 2-turn red fortified countdown tile. When the countdown tiles reaches 0, that instantly downs an opponent because of her level 530. But normally it just does a good amount of damage to the target. But if the countdown tile is only one on the board, or if it's one remaining on the board, then the damage is still dealt to the target, but Mockingbird gets damage dealt to her. Her yellow ability is probably one of the most annoying abilities in the game. Anytime you make a match 4 or greater, Mockingbird takes AP from you, at least 1 AP from you. And if you have more than, I think it's either 7 or 8 AP, but if whatever her threshold is, if they have AP in that color of whatever you match, they fire off a random power. So if you make if you have enough, if they have enough AP in yellow, for example, and we make a match 4 in the color yellow, she'll fire off a 3 free power. It could be anything from her red ability to Riri's red to Riri's blue to Riri's green. You don't know. And then her purple ability, it just drains AP from whatever our strongest color is and gives them AP in whatever their strongest color is. I think that's about right. I think that's right. I'll go into the fight and find out. And then Decoy, like I said, we'll find out about Decoy in a minute. Now, normally for this node here, my secret weapon is Yelena Belova. And I'll explain why really quickly. So, on top of the class ability, is that if the enemy has at least 9 AP in any color, then you create a strike tile, and then you deal damage, and then you destroy their AP pool by 4. Since the decoy creates green AP for Riri Williams and for the team, the AI is going to really focus more on Riri's green ability, and then not Mockingbird. Then Yelena just steals the AP and then creates the strike tile, and then madness ensues. I just laugh at every time the AI decides to use a power. If you don't have Yelena, then the next person that I would probably choose from, where is old Valkyrie? There she is. Valkyrie. Use her best defense ability. Like anytime someone makes a match, because they'll be dealt over 2,000 damage or whatever your threshold might be. Then she creates strike tiles, and then you got the bounty hunter tiles too, but that won't last on the board. I mean, not last on the board. It'll last on the board, but you gotta actively chase after whomever it's targeted. Now, if that doesn't work, you can also use any character that can go invisible. You can use the 5-star Yellow Jacket if you have him. Well, where is the iCard? Oh my goodness. I'm looking for the iCard, but... Oh, no? Okay, here we go. So, that shrinking feeling, as long as you have 6 blue AP, you can turn yourself invisible. And then, anytime Yellow Jacket makes a black, blue, or green match, then he stays invisible. Which that's always a good thing, staying invisible. And since no one on their team has team damage moves, that helps. Miles Morales, just get enough purple and then protect your purple tiles on the board. I mean your visibility tile. Professor X, he has a purple invisibility move. Invisible Woman, hers is in yellow, but I think you can get around having to protect yellow, because neither Mockingbird or Riri have an active yellow power. I mean, you could use Agent Venom, but his takes a little bit too long, and by the time they're done with the damage that they're doing, it'll be too late. Howard the Duck you could use too, but again, his costs 12, and by the time you get enough purple to use Duck Loose, you're probably in a position where you need to reset the fight. But he's an option though. Ghost, she's an option too, but her purple is at least 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's 10. But you can pop off as many of these as possible. So just stay invisible. And I'm trying to think of another character that can go invisible. Or you could go Spider-Ham, but after, it'll more or less be a Hail Mary. Ideally, well, since we got Carnage here, we got Mantis, it only makes sense that we bring in Carnage, one of Carnage's partners. We could bring in Medusa, or you could bring in Polaris and just have the entire team stunned. I mean, that's always an option too. But we're gonna go with my girl Medusa. All right, now ideally, you want to target the decoy first, so he doesn't give out enough green with his shock, which it does damage. It destroys some number of surrounding tiles, and then if there's any additional black that's caught up in the cascade, that's destroyed too. And then temporal warp, 10 black, it stuns the target for 3 turns. And then I said we were going to look at opportunist. Okay, so that's 8 AP. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, and you gain AP. So that wasn't a steal, it was a gain. And then secret mission, yeah, steals our strongest color and gives it to their strongest color. So I wasn't completely wrong. We'll let our Mantis stay out in front, so Carnage doesn't take too much damage. But if he does, I can heal all of it off with Medusa. Now, does having a champion Carnage make this here a little bit easier? Yeah, it does. I'm not gonna lie to you, but lie to you guys about that. It definitely helps. Break up those entanglement tiles. Get even more damage out on the board. Which is always a great thing. Now I already see a flip-flop that I'm gonna give. And give y'all this tile. I'll give y'all this tile. And then when I cascade it, I'm gonna give y'all this tile. Assuming Carnage's auto match doesn't go off, which it didn't, thank goodness. And now they'll be dealt even more damage. And Riri will probably be gone either this turn or next turn. I'm not quite for certain yet. Okay, there she's gone. And now during that whole entire duration of sleep, Mockingbird didn't gain enough AP in her colors to activate either bombshell, secret mission, or anything like that. So I will say, Mantis, you did a very good job. Let's fire off Clash the Worthy, why not? And neutralization. I mean, it didn't really need to, but But I gotta get rid of this team up top. These team abilities somehow. Get even more CP. And there's day 2. This one here is probably one of the tougher days. Day 3 is pretty tough too, with Star-Lord and Mordo and the Thing, which will be this node here. I think for that node there, I'm just gonna probably use Polaris and just have their team stunned. Yeah, more like I'll use that there, and then we'll talk about the other nodes as we get there. Now I'm gonna take a pause, upload this video here onto YouTube, then go and knock out some of these fights in PvP, and then once I come back, day 2 of Venom Bomb.